I was really contemplating on whether or not I actually wanted to make this video because I didn't want to throw any shade at the people who organized this event, but I feel like if I don't say anything that it won't be addressed for next year. What is up, all you literary fans and gents? It is your girl Deja, and I am back with a brand new video on my channel. So remember like a little while ago when I said that I was going to be spilling the tea about like the North Texas Teen Book Festival? Well, that's what this video is. So as you guys know, I have like probably one of the best experiences ever. I had a great time. I got to meet a whole bunch of authors. I got to pick up a whole bunch of ARCs, a whole bunch of swag. I got to meet some awesome booktubers. You guys know that I got to meet Rhiannon in person for the first time. So for like 98% of it, it was an amazing experience, except for one thing. So let me just preface this by saying I have nothing against institutions wanting kids to learn to read, or I don't have a problem with teachers being like, I want my kids to, you know, enjoy reading as something for when they grow up, so you know they're not into things like, you know, video games. Not saying that video games are bad, but books, right? There's no alternative to books. But the issue that I didn't necessarily have the issue with the fact that the kids were even there. The issue that I had is that there was no supervision whatsoever. So first things first, 6:30 in the morning, I have already arrived at the convention, standing in line to get the wristbands, and I noticed buses start showing up, right? The buses start showing up and the kids start getting out, and they're all in like these t-shirts, so I guess like the adults can identify them when they're, you know, around. And I'm just like, oh cool. I was like, they brought like schools here so that the kids could enjoy some of the authors, and I was like, that's really awesome, right? First one bus showed up, then like a couple more buses showed up, and I think at the end of it there was like maybe, as like for kids, there were kids, and it was specifically the kids in the blue shirts, right? I don't know what school they were from, but my own personal experience, a lot of them were problematic, but it was specifically the kids in the blue shirts, right? So let me get exactly into what made me upset. First of all, these kids were running around everywhere, right? They were bumping into people. Like I saw this one guy, he got bumped into by these two girls, and they didn't even say I'm sorry. They just kept walking and talking, and he kind of stopped in the middle of the walkway, took a deep breath, and I was like, I am totally feeling you right now, my dude. Like, I totally understand where you're coming from. And they were running around. They were just, like I said, they were unsupervised. They kind of just said, as long as you stay in the building, you're perfectly okay. And had they been well behaved, I wouldn't have had a problem with that, but the problem is that they weren't, right? So one, they were running around, they were knocking into people, and they weren't apologizing, and they were kind of just, you know, creating a disturbance. Two, they were cutting in line everywhere. Like, when I remember when I told you that you had to have like the card at the Epic Reads in order to get the book, so the lady has already gone through the line and passed out the cards to the people in the line, and then these kids just randomly show up and like try to cut in line in front of us, right? And so the lady that was in front of me that I had teamed up with in order to like get all like the extra swag and stuff, me and her are both like, you guys can't be in this line because you guys, you know, you cut, right? And they just ignored us, right? And at first I was like, hold up. I had to remember that I was a Christian, and I was like, these are kids, Deja, if you hit them you will go to jail. And it was so funny to like see the shock on their face when we told them, see, you had to have been standing in line earlier and gotten one of these cards in order for you to actually get a book. So then they dispersed, right? And this is after like shoving their way like into like this little miniature crowd of people that have been standing here for like an hour in order to get these ARCs. Instance number 3, their language was beyond foul. Alright, I'm not saying that I don't occasionally like drop a curse word or two here, but like every other word that comes out of my mouth is not a curse word. With them, there was this one specific group of boys. They were just being like really vulgar in what they were saying. And I was like shocked, because like I walked by and I heard this, and it wasn't just me, other people heard it, and they were kind of like, and they were like, should we say something? Can we say something? It's just like we're looking around for like one of the adults in the blue shirts, but they are nowhere to be seen. Thing number 4. So when I went outside to get food for me and my dad, right, I'm waiting, and then I just happen to turn around and I'm standing in line, and I see this Gatorade bottle come from the 4th floor and like smack down in the middle of like the lawn area where people are like sitting down and eating, right? And I was just like, really? And I see like these group of boys like down there laughing, and I hear a group of boys up there laughing, right? And so this gentleman, I guess he was like a dad or something, he was just like, hey, he's like, y'all need to cut that off. He's like, if you're not gonna drink it, you need to throw it away, right? You know, he was doing he was adulting a lot better than I was. So if you guys don't know what the convention looks like, so there's like a lawn area where there's like little sections divided up by gravel, so it's like grass, gravel, grass, gravel, but then on these sides there's also gravel, but there's like this huge staircase after that that goes all the way up to the 4th, yeah, it was the 4th floor, right? There's a sitting area up there once you get to the 4th floor, and then you can go into a side door and go to like the 4th floor of the convention center. So that's where he threw it from. He just chucked it over the side. I was upset because I was like, what if that had hit somebody? Then nobody would have been laughing. And y'all shouldn't be throwing stuff over the edge in the first place. If that is his, you need to either walk down and give it to him, or he needs to walk up the stairs and go grab it. So that's another thing I was upset by. Number 5. So when it came to like the escalators, right, they had one lane of people going this way and one lane of people going that way, depending on whether you're trying to go upstairs or downstairs, right? So I'm walking behind Rhiannon and Katie and Jade, and there are these group of girls that are walking in the opposite direction through the crowd. And I'm just like, there's literally an entire open area on the other side. It's not like the area is like roped off. You can just like swing underneath it and then walk in the opposite direction. But they just proceeded to push their way through the crowd, right, and walking in the opposite direction, and they were bumping into people. And keep in mind, it's the hallway that's been divided into 2, and it's already crowded of people trying to get we were trying to get upstairs, I believe, but there's already like a crowd of people trying to move that direction, and they're moving against the grain rather than just swinging underneath the rope and walking that way, right? So I was just like, number 6, they were beyond messy. Okay, we were sitting in the Cassandra Clare line, group of boys, and I'm 99.9% sure it's the same group of boys that I saw throwing the Gatorade bottle and who I heard cursing up a storm. I may be wrong, because at that point all of them were just crumb snatchers to me. I was just like, my goodness, like my blood pressure was getting high just remembering it. I was I'm good. Anyways, they were beyond messy. So we're sitting in the Cassandra Clare line, and there's this group of boys sitting behind me, and they're eating popcorn, right? They're talking and whatnot. So the line gets up for us to start moving, because the line has started, the signings have started. And I turned around, I just happened to look down. There are popcorn kernels everywhere. There's a bag, there's a water bottle, and it's just a mess. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I was like, you could at least like pick up after yourselves or something, because it's just like, even though there are people here to help keep this event clean, you just blatantly making a mess like that is not helping whatsoever. So I was just kind of like, you know what? Besides the fact, like it was just like a whole bunch of like small things. It's like, if you're going to bring kids to the book festival, please, one, if you know that they are not well behaved, please make sure that they are supervised, because they're kind of ruining the experience for everybody else. 2, as long as like they are well behaved, you don't have to supervise them, but you should still, you know, kind of you know, I don't know. Like I said, it was just kind of like a mess. It wasn't the entire group of kids that showed up. For the most part, they just blended in with everybody else, and they were just trying to enjoy the book festival as well. And I was like, oh, this is great. It's awesome to encourage reading for young readers. But you still have to realize that these are children, and children sometimes act foolish, and you need to keep an eye on them. So that was literally it when it came to like spilling the tea. So it's like, like I said, North Texas Teen Book Festival, I do not have a problem with how you run your events, but to the schools and institutions that do want to bring your kids, please make sure that they behave. Do not bring those baby kids to these events, because it is so annoying, and they got on my nerves, and I didn't even know how to deal with them half the time, because I was like, I can't yell at them because then people are gonna look at me like I'm crazy, like, why are you yelling at these kids, right? And I can't like get in their face, because if like something happens, it's just like I'm going to jail, right? That's just it. I'm 21. These kids are like 5, right? Okay, they're not like 5, they're probably like 8, 9, 10, something like that. But anyways, I was like, I'm not trying to get kicked out. I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not trying to have anybody's parents, mama, daddy, brother, sister, grandma yelling at me. But at the same time, it's just like, I still have the right to say something if your child wants to come somewhere and act foolish. Anyway, so this video turned out to be a lot longer than I expected it to be. I actually didn't realize that there were so many things that had upset me about this whole event. But yeah, like I said. So anyways, thank you guys so much for listening until the end of this video. I realized I kind of went on a rant. Like I said, I was really upset about how the people had handled that whole situation, and I didn't think that it was handled properly. But again, no shade whatsoever for wanting to bring kids to these events, because I think that's cool, but make sure that they are well behaved. If you guys think that I'm just overreacting, like, please just let me know. But if you were there and you understand what I'm saying and you had the same experiences, please let us share in our pain together. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching until the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content from moi. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!